To Indie Theater Now. This is the second edition of this new experiment in theatrical telejournalism, produced by the New York Theater Experience. We'd like to report that after the first episode, viewers throughout the city opened their windows, tossed their televisions into the street, proclaiming, "We're mad as hell, we're not going to take it anymore, we're going to the theater." But actually, as of this taping, the first episode hasn't even aired yet, so we only suspect that's what's going to happen. Because we love New York's feisty and iconoclastic indie theater community so much, in this edition we've rounded up three amazing artists, each of whom has been plugging away in the scene for over a decade. Coming up in the program, we'll have, in order of their appearance, puppet artist Kevin Augustine, Rob Neal of the Neo-Futurists, and the terrific writer Clay McLeod Chapman. The other two are terrific, too. So we hope you've already been to the refrigerator and back and unplugged the telephone. You won't want to miss a second. 3 years later, we're very excited to bring up our first guest, if for no other reason than it lets us show off our new toy, the TV studio. In a minute, I think you'll see why televisuals improve upon the audio podcast as a means of showcasing his work. Since 1997, puppeteer Kevin Augustine and his company Lone Wolf Tribe have been taking audiences to impossible places using nothing more than tiny bits of foam rubber and the artistry with which they infuse it. New York audiences have seen his work at places like PS 122, Here Arts Center, Brooklyn Arts Exchange, Dixon Place, and Galapagos. He's also toured extensively here and abroad, as far as Zimbabwe. Here now to present that work is Kevin Augustine. Through the magic of television, Kevin Augustine has joined me on my little set over here into the hot seat. Well, Kevin, it's been a bit surreal watching that performance because I first saw it 10 years ago in Collective Unconscious in the Fringe Festival, and I was suddenly transported back there where it was incredibly hot and it's air-conditioned in this lovely, palatial MNN studio. What's gone on between then and now?
Between then and now, that was the second show that I've made.
What got you into puppetry in the first place?
Well, as a kid, I always liked puppets, and my grandmother, she made some puppets for me, and that got me started.
Was she a professional puppeteer?
No, not at all.
Just a nice grandmother.
Yeah, artistically bent, and taught me how to draw, and taught me that, hey, you can make your own toys. You can create something rather unique. You know, don't have to go and pick one off of many off of a shelf. And then I got back into puppetry kind of professionally once after college, and I got started in solo theater, having tried to form a company of actors various times, but everybody was always going off to L.A. or I've got to be in this movie.
So you started making your own other actors?
Yes.
Wow.
And they stayed.
So Lone Wolf Tribe, is that sort of?
Lone Wolf Tribe, because it was solo. There was me, primarily. It was always me. And so that was the Lone Wolf, and the tribe are the puppets. But now the tribe is kind of grown out, so it's not just me. We have more company members, and like in the performance is Gloria's son, who's our general manager and props maker and web designer.
We don't want to give away the tricks of the trade or how she was made the butterfly happen, but she was not visible.
She was there.
To you.
Yes.
So, okay, in my recollection, having seen the piece, you also speak.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm reminded I do vaudeville shows, and there was a ventriloquist who wanted to do my show once, and he sent me this tape of his performance at Showtime at the Apollo, and it was really terrible, sort of Willie Tyler and Lester kind of act, except he didn't hide his own the fact that he was speaking, and he had a dummy in his lap. And the reason I think of this now was, like, in his horrible act, you would watch him while you're supposed to be watching the dummy as he's providing the dummy's voice.
Right.
And in your puppetry, what I remember about your show was that you're on stage the whole time speaking for the character, and you would watch the character the whole time.
Right. Yes. Well, thanks.
Well, how do you accomplish that? That's magical.
My answer would be that my training was first as an actor. So I have training as an actor, but I'm self-taught as a puppeteer. And I think puppetry is all about acting. I think of them as other characters and co-actors on stage more than just a puppet. So you have to, just like an actor, take on that role. And you feel the feelings, think the thoughts, and when you're doing that and speaking with their voice, if you're investing in it, you're going to focus on them. So it sounds like your guy wasn't quite giving all the way over to who. But
also ventriloquism is quite different from puppetry, right?
It is, yeah. I'm not at least for what I do, I'm not a fan of it, although a piece that I'm working on now, I'm thinking about learning it. Because I just thought, it's so much work to just show the audience that I'm not moving my lips. And it's a lot of attention about that, and you're always watching if the guy's going to slip up, and do I see his teeth, and he wasn't that great. But if you're really bringing the puppet to life, then that's a gimmick that maybe you don't have to really worry about, at least in what I do.
Yeah. So you've toured extensively with...
Yeah, I've the furthest that you mentioned has been Africa, and we're just gearing up to go to Holland. And then Brazil at the end of the summer. So starting to go more places. The last show that I did that was at, you mentioned as well, was at PS 122. It was way big. It was really huge. It was 15 people. And I kind of shot myself in the foot because I want to tour. I want to bring my work to other places. But
that's a busload, right?
It's a busload in the economy. Nobody can afford all those plane tickets and hotels. So this new show is much smaller.
Are you touring with the Big Top Machine?
No, I have. The last time I did that was at the Brick Theater in Williamsburg in 2005. And I just decided to bring her back because it's a small, self-contained moment.
Okay. You brought something special to show us.
Oh, yeah. I brought one of the puppets for the new show that I'm working on. This is Lou.
He looks kind of like Lou Jacobs, the famous clown.
That's who he's based on. Yeah, he doesn't have his a headpiece right now.
Is this worn as a mask or is it a puppet?
It's a puppet, but I'm also trying to figure out a way to have it become a mask as well.
And this is in the new piece that's going to Holland?
Yeah, this is a new piece called the Hobo Grunt Cycle.
And what's it about?
It's about looking at our culture, and not just our culture, but mainly our culture's habit for war and the fallout of conflict resolution through violence.
So it sounds like quite a serious piece.
Yeah, it will be. I want to have that there is magical moments to it, but it's, yeah. And
you'll be opening at the Irondale Ensemble before going to Holland.
Yeah, we have one night in May 12th. So this probably will air after that, but it's one night. It's free for people to come, and we want to get feedback from an audience to put it up on its feet for just that one chance and redevelop it for a few weeks before we tour to Holland.
Well, great. Well, good luck with it, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Travis.
Kevin Augustine.